This presentation by Emily Zemsky discusses the real issues the employees at the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, modernly known as NASA, faced. The research provided in this presentation proves that the movie is not completely accurate and diminishes the struggles and the education that the women had to go through to do what they did. For those who don't know, the Hidden Figure story is about the three main women, Katherine Johnson, Mary Winston Jackson, and Dorothy Vaughan, who were among some of the first female black scientists and mathematicians to be hired by NASA. They are best known to be some of the most famous people that have helped pave the way for the rest of the ethnic and female employees to come at NASA. The story depicts their hard work, the education they went through and got, and the struggles that they went through in general when it came to this story. Some background information to help inform those who don't know more about the story. In 1943, was the height of World War II, and 1943 was also the year that NASA started hiring a huge wave of black female employees, which started at the West Area Computing Group. In 1945, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed Executive Order 8802, which prohibited the racial, religious, and ethnic discrimination for the country's defense industry in the workplace. However, due to the Jim Crow laws that were active at the time, segregation was legal, which is why the West Area Computing Group was active. However, in 1958, segregated workplaces were abolished, and that same year is when the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, aka NACA, turned into the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. And in 1957, the Soviets launched the satellite Sputnik to space successfully, which caused a huge stir in the US. However, in 1962, the Mission Friendship 7 launched and orbited successfully due to some of the work that these women had done. The first of the three famous women was Dorothy Vaughan. She was born in Kansas City, Missouri in 1910 on September 20th. In 1929, she graduated from the Wilberforce University with her bachelor's in mathematics. Soon after she graduated, she got a job at Russell Mountain High School in Farmville, Virginia as a math teacher. However, during the height of World War II, when NASA started hiring black female computers, she was hired. She worked very hard in the West Area Computing Group until she was promoted to section head for the West Area Computing Group in 1949, becoming the first black supervisor in NASA history. And in 1958, Vaughan joined the Analysis and Computation Division, ACD, which was depicted in the film. She became an expert Fortran programmer, which was also depicted in the film. Through all the hard work, she retired in 1971 and had 20 great years at NASA doing lots of work. However, in 2008, she sadly passed away on November 10th. But due to her efforts and all the work that she did, she was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal in 2019 along with her co-workers Mary Winston Jackson and Katherine Johnson. Dorothy Vaughan was known as a strong and influential woman who single-handedly helped pave the way for tons of women to come after her. She advocated for all the black females hired and all the females in general hired at NASA, and all other employees being undermined by the economy at the time. She came into work every day full of passion, and she left a huge legacy for the rest of female scientists and mathematicians to come. She is one of the greatest legacies when it comes to NASA history. Mary Winston Jackson was born on April 9th in Hampton, Virginia in 1921. And in 1942, she graduated and got her bachelor's in science degree in mathematics and physical science. And then shortly after she graduated, she became a math teacher in Calvert County, Maryland. And until 1951, she had a whole bunch of jobs, including a temp job at a weather station and a secretary. In 1951, she joined NACA as a computer under the supervision of Dorothy Vaughan at the West Computing Group. In 1953, she was offered a job in the supersonic pressure tunnel alongside an engineer. That same engineer pushed her to become an engineer herself. And so in 1958, after hard work and a lot of fighting with the courts, she was able to complete courses necessary to become an engineer. Because of all the work she did, and because she was the first black engineer to work for NASA, she was awarded the Apollo Group Achievement along with her coworkers. However, in 1979, she sadly took a demotion to fill in the manager position in the Langley's Federal Women's Program to help other women get the jobs that they deserved at NASA. She retired in 1985. Her legacy continued till 2005 when she sadly passed away on February 11th. Alongside Dorothy Vaughan and Katherine Johnson, she also was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal for all the hard work she endured. Mary Winston Jackson was a strong, intelligent woman. It was a huge part in leading the way for women in the STEM field, especially at NASA. She was a kind and gentle woman with passion and intelligence was not exactly depicted in the film. She was in the film depicted as an aggressive but intelligent woman. In fact, she was absolutely the opposite of aggressive. But her mindset was aggressive and she did what she did. She changed the mindset of many people, being the first black female engineer in NASA history, and she too left a huge legacy for everyone else to come. The protagonist of the film, Katherine Johnson, was born in 1918 on August 26 in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. By the age of 13, she was enrolled in the high school on the campus of the West Virginia State College. And by the time she was 18, she was enrolled in the college and graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in mathematics and French. In 1939, she was enrolled in the integrated college courses on the same campus, but sadly, shortly after one semester, she had to drop out because she was starting a family with her husband. And after a long period of time, she joined NACA in 1953 under the supervision of Dorothy Vaughan in the West Area Computing Group. Shortly after she was hired, she was immediately sent to join the Maneuver Loads branch of the Flight Research Division, where she began doing data analysis for launches. Her hard work continued, and in 1961 she became a crucial part of the Mission Friendship 7. The project began. She was crucial at the end of 1962 when Mission Friendship 7 successfully orbits. After lots and lots of hard work, she retired in 1986. In 2015, because of the work she did with Mission Friendship 7, President Obama awarded Johnson the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest civilian award. Alongside Dorothy Vaughan and Mary Winston Jackson, she was also awarded the Congressional Gold Medal. And sadly, just a few months ago, on February 26th of 2020, Johnson passed away, leaving a huge legacy. Katherine Johnson is one of the most famous women who worked in NASA, and without her, Mission 7 would not have been successful. She worked endlessly for 33 years, some of the most crucial work in NASA history, and she too left one of the greatest legacies in NASA history, and history in general for womankind. The film did not accurately describe the timeline of events, as they included many of the timelines and events that occurred in the women's life. It was not accurate to the time, as the film was set in 1961. The film excluded the education, except for Mary Winston Jackson, which was crucial to the storytelling of the events. It also didn't describe the laws that were in place at the time, which unaccurately represented the segregation at the time. However, this film depicted the racism and the sexism perfectly. It also explained the Mission Friendship 7 procedure and everything that happened as accurate as you can get in a movie. The film also depicts Winston's court battle for education as she fought to be able to take the courses at Hampton High School that she needed to become the engineer. It also depicted Dorothy Vaughan's struggle for promotion to be a supervisor through all the work that she had done in the West Area Computing Group. And finally, it also accurately represents how crucial Katherine Johnson was to the success of Mission Friendship 7. As well as it included the part in the movie where John Glenn said, "Get the girl, I want her to check the numbers. If they're good to her, then it's good enough for me," which happened in reality and in the film. At the end of the day, the movie does not accurately depict the women's struggles and the timelines leading up to the important events of the Hidden Figures story. It accurately depicts the hardships three women overcame. This film shows the true struggles of the sexism and the racism and the other struggles these women went through during this time and the strength it took these women to persevere to accomplish all they did. At the end of the day, these women left a huge legacy, and without them, NASA would not be what it is today. Thank you for watching my presentation. Here's my works cited. Thank you.